Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This week we have a little bit of a bonus video and I'm just gonna jump right into it. This is my hospital bag that I pretty much always have at least somewhat packed. If you're new here, my name is Arena and I have a genetic condition that basically means I'm in the hospital and the ER a lot. So this is my bag and what I bring and the essentials for if you are ever going to end up in the hospital. So first off, the bag itself is the Vera Bradley, I think it's the campus bag. I'm not exactly sure, and anything that I know the link to, I will try to have it linked below. But yeah, I got it on sale on Amazon. It's worked great, it's cute, it's big enough, but it has enough storage. And then let's keep moving on. The next biggest and most obvious would be this polar bear stuffed animal. It's weighted, it's cute, my favorite animal is a polar bear. And it also doubles as a pillow. I think it's comfortable as a pillow for me, and hospital pillows are usually really terrible. So I just like that this is just a cute like comfort item, but also doubles as a pillow that's a little bit smaller than the standard pillow. Next up, on the back of my bag on the handle, I always have this hair clip that I got from a boutique, just like a local boutique. But hair clips, always useful if you run out of hair ties. Alright, so in this big main compartment, there are some back pockets here, and I just have this always packed, so it's a little bit of a surprise what's in here for me too. So, we've got some candy. We've got a deck of cards, which is actually very useful if you know how to play solitaire. Very good for passing the time, but also it's kind of a fun way to like hang out with visitors without like watching TV or like being on electronics, so just a good classic. And then in the next pocket next to it, I have a roll of athletic tape. This is K-tape. It's kind of like an off-brand that is better for sensitive skin. Because of my specific genetic condition, my joints dislocate a lot, and I prefer to tape them back into place, and the hospital is not always great at that, so I like to just bring my own stuff. Next we have some cash. It's kind of useful if you want to like go down to the gift shop and like buy a t-shirt or something, or like a lemonade. And I've got a coin and some old medicine caps and an old Dexcom transmitter. Okay, and then down in this main compartment, I usually also pack at least one change of clothes and then extra of undergarments. Because I never know how long I'm gonna be there, and I don't like wearing hospital gowns, but I also don't like wearing the same clothes for too long, even though you're not really doing anything in the hospital. So yeah, most of the time this is filled with a large amount of clothes, specifically a hoodie. Always bring a hoodie. We've got another bag of candy, saltwater taffies. I don't eat a lot by mouth. I have a feeding tube and stuff, but I just love a good candy. So I have a lot of it. And then I've got a book, which I'm currently reading, and my journal that I got off of Etsy, and it's got my initials on it. It's very exciting. And that is it looks like, for the main compartment. Right behind the main compartment is a laptop sleeve, which I always bring my iPad. I have the 2021 iPad Pro, the 12.9 inch. It's huge, but I love it. If you are looking for a gift idea for anyone who's chronically ill, highly recommend iPads. They're so functional. You can read, you can draw, you can play games or call people. They're just so functional. Well, I love them. And then also bonus, it's not in the bag right now because I use them, but don't forget your chargers, people. That would be tragic. And then if you can, try to get the 10-foot long chargers, like as long as possible, because you never know where the plugs are going to be in the room, and it's really annoying if you only have like a tiny little charger and it's across the room and you can't like charge your phone and use it at the same time. So try to get extra long chargers. Here in the very back there's this like side pocket, and it's normally where I put my wallet and my phone, but I also have just a little Gideon Bible which has Psalms, Proverbs, and the New Testament in it, and it's just cute and small, and I like to keep these just like in my car or wherever if somebody needs a Bible. Moving on, and you can tell I've used this because there's a hole in it now. But right here on the side I have just a bottle of hand sanitizer, a little bracelet that my niece gave me, and an Enfit wrench for my feeding tube in case things get stuck. I can kind of pry them off without breaking anything. And then I've just got like a cute little pin here. But in this second compartment, I've got headphones. These are the Bose 700s, I want to say. I will correct myself if I'm wrong. I got them off of Facebook Marketplace. I always recommend buying electronics off of Facebook because there's really no point in buying them new if they work just fine. But I love these headphones. They are super noise canceling to where like if you're talking to me, I literally can't hear you if you're standing right next to me. And then they have like a touchpad on the side where you can skip and pause, play, change the volume, all kinds of stuff, which is super nice, especially with all the beeping that goes on in the hospital. I have a hefty collection of alcohol wipes for my central line, as well as extra flushes. And obviously I shouldn't need those in the hospital, but basically in any bag that I have anywhere ever in my life, I have extra alcohol wipes and flushes just because it's important to be able to do that if you need to when you have a central line, so I just have them stashed everywhere. Up next, I have a whole collection of colored pens, so I can color, draw. I usually use these actually to write notes when I'm discharged. I like to write notes to the nurses and the doctors and just say thank you, and they usually appreciate it. So, and then I have a menstrual disc, or normally I have pads. I'm not a tampon girly, but I think probably one of the worst things that can happen is you start your period in the hospital because basically all they have are like giant diapers, which is very unfortunate. So try to keep a couple stashed just to tide myself over until a friend can bring me some decent stuff. And then I've got another stash of candy. I'm quickly realizing how much candy I have. So my parents are dentists and they're gonna see this and think I'm like giving myself cavities, so sorry mom and dad. This front pocket doesn't have anything in it at the moment, but yeah, that is what is currently in my bag. But I also bring a couple extras usually, but they don't stay in the bag, so this is what I would pack in addition if I'm like on my way to the ER or the hospital. So I have this little pink case. It came in a set of a few, and it's like a toiletries bag, and so it's got toothbrush, toothpaste, some makeup, and some other essentials that usually fit in here, but things are a little bit mixed up at the moment. I've been traveling a lot, so I usually also bring deodorant, of course, a roll of my favorite tape for my feeding tubes or lines or whatever I need it for, because the hospital doesn't usually stock this, and I'm not allergic to it, and it works really well, so I bring my own. And then I also usually have to bring my own feeding tube syringes, because the end of my feeding tube is an Enfit, so it has like a little screw end, which they almost never have the right syringes that are compatible, so it's either wait until they can find it or just have my own. So I usually have a couple stashed away in this bag. Another favorite item that I like to bring is an essential oil. This is cedarwood. I bring all different ones. I really like lavender, peppermint, eucalyptus, all the things. Just something that's nice and fresh, because I just don't like the hospital smell. It smells like alcohol. It smells terrible. If you know, you know. So this, and you can actually just drop it on like a piece of cardboard or tissue and it will work like a diffuser if you don't want to pack an entire diffuser. My next thing is this little compartment that has Q-tips, hair ties. I have these little tiny clear elastics, and then a lot of bobby pins, which I never use bobby pins, but all of them came in this case and I just added to it. So I also am a comb girly. I'm not really a hairbrush girly. My hair doesn't get very tangled, but this is my usual comb that I use. For larger items, especially if I know I'm staying overnight for more than like a couple days, I will usually also bring a blanket or like a small quilt, just because it's homier and my body's like used to regulating with that blanket versus hospital blankets. I'm really bad at regulating my body temperature, so that actually makes a big difference for me, rather than like those little skimpy cotton ones that they give you. They're fine, they just, if I'm gonna be there a while, I like to have my own. And then also a heating pad. I use a weighted heating pad and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I've bought like 5 of them over the years. But hospitals actually usually have a policy where you're not supposed to have your own, but I've never had a nurse say anything about it. And if you ask for the hospital heating pads, they get like 5 degrees warmer and they're like useless. I hate them. So I bring my own if I know I'm gonna be there a while, but it is a little bit heavy and bulky, so if I'm only gonna be there for a few hours or like a day, then I won't bother with it. That actually went a lot faster than I thought it would. It seems like I don't actually bring that much, but yeah, that was my hospital bag tour. So thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you have any suggestions for what else I should bring, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. And yeah, again, I'll try to have things linked below if you want to check it out for yourself. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.